Hello, spooky friends, and today's Scream Queen is all about Janet Leigh, not to be confused with Vivian Leigh, and also who is the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis. So let's get right into today's Scream Queen. Jeanette Helen Morrison was born on July 6, 1927, in Merced, California, the only child of Heaven Leda and Frederick Robert Morrison. Her maternal grandparents were immigrants from Denmark, and her father had Scots, Irish, and German ancestry. Shortly after Leigh's birth, the family relocated to Stockton, where she spent her early life. She was brought up in poverty, as her father struggled to support the family with his factory employment, and he took various additional jobs after the Great Depression. Leigh was raised Presbyterian and sang in the local church choir throughout her childhood. In 1941, when her paternal grandfather became terminally ill, the family relocated to Merced, where they moved into her grandparents' home. She attended Weber Grammar School in Stockton and later Stockton High School. Leigh excelled in academics and graduated from high school at the age of 16. Over the span of her career, she starred in a genre of different kinds of films, including comedy films and television. In 1958, Leigh starred as Susan Vargas in the Orson Welles film noir classic Touch of Evil, her first Universal film. But I believe later the film was uncut because Universal just couldn't understand the movie. Next, Leigh co-starred with her fourth film with Tony Curtis called The Vikings, produced by and co-starring Kirk Douglas, and released in June of 1958. Distributed by United Artists, the film had one of the most expensive marketing campaigns of the 1950s. It was ultimately a blockbuster, grossing over $13 million internationally. Leigh's next film, The Perfect Furlough, was released in early 1959, in which she again co-starred with Curtis, playing a psychiatrist lieutenant in Paris. Leigh and Curtis next co-starred in the Columbia Pictures farce Who Was That Lady? It was released in early 1960, in which Leigh portrayed a wife who catches her professor husband, Tony Curtis, cheating on her, triggering a series of mishaps. Also in 1960, Leigh was cast in her most iconic role as the morally conflicted murder victim Marion Crane in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, co-starring with John Gavin and Anthony Perkins, and released by Universal. Leigh was reportedly so traumatized by filming her character's shower murder scene that she went to great lengths to avoid showers for the rest of her life. Released in June of 1960, Psycho was a major critical and commercial success. For her performance, Leigh received a Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress and was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Leigh's role in Psycho became career-defining, and she later commented, quote, "I've been in a great many films, but I suppose if an actor can be remembered for one role, then they're very fortunate. And in that sense, I'm fortunate," unquote. Her character's death early in the film has been noted as historically relevant by film scholars as it violated narrative conventions of the time. While her murder scene itself is considered among both critics and film scholars to be one of the most iconic scenes in film history, I would have to agree with that. If you have never seen the movie Psycho, I highly recommend that you see it. It is, how can I put it in words? For its time, it was a mind-blowing thriller/horror film. And I remember watching it for the first time, and I didn't know what to expect, right? So, and I was in my probably early 20s, which was been a long time ago, when I first saw the film. And so I watched it and everything, and yeah, the shower scene is pretty creepy and messed up. But what really blew my mind and made me cringe at this movie was the end. The plot twist that happened at the end of the film is what got me. So, and that is what actually led to my great love for Alfred Hitchcock. And then after I saw Psycho, I wanted to see every single movie Hitchcock had ever done. And so I have, and I loved every single one of them. But Psycho is the one that started it all for me. Leigh died at her home in Beverly Hills on October the 3rd, 2004, at the age of 77, after a high protracted battle with vasculitis. Her death surprised many, as she had not disclosed her illness to the public. She was survived by her daughters, Kelly and Jamie, and her husband of 42 years, Robert Brandt. Leigh was cremated and her ashes were entombed at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery in the Westwood Village neighborhood of Los Angeles. I would also like to add that she does have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 1777 Vine Street. Alright, that's going to do it for today's video about Janet Leigh. I hope you enjoyed this video. She was an excellent actress, and I really wish that the first Universal film that she ever did, which was written by Orson Welles, would have made it. I would have loved to have seen that. Alright, that's going to do it for today's video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the near future. This is Spooky Marshmallow saying, stay spooky, my friends.